Welcome. Wanted to do a basic trap rundown, different ways to stake traps, stuff like that, just for people that are new to trapping and want to get into it this year, because now would be about the time you start prepping. Well, let's go over a few different types of traps. So these are the two main types that I use. This is a dog-proof trap, and this is designed to catch coons and possums. And what makes it dog-proof is you have to reach in here to pull the trigger mechanism. I don't know, let's see if we can get might not be bright enough to see inside there and get you can see the ring in the side there. When you hold it, the dog here holds this, and then when this gets pulled up, it makes the mechanism fire. This is a coil spring trap with a dog on it. This is actually a Duke 550 Pro Series, so this is double coil spring. It's a pretty good trap. This is a 5.5-inch jaw spread, I believe, on this trap. This is a K9, no BS, but what's different about this one over the Duke is that this is a dogless trap. So when you open the jaws on this one, you can see right here, that's what catches on this part of the jaw, and that holds the trap open until an animal steps on it. And this is a 6-inch jaw spread, inside jaw spread. This is the no BS K9 KO. I really like these traps because there's really no prep on these traps. They come coated. You don't have to wax them, dye them, anything like that. This is a Bridger 165, I believe is a 4.5-inch jaw spread, which they may be wrong, but this is a double coil spring. This is the difference, and I was just showing this one just to show there is different sizes of traps. These traps are good for like raccoons, foxes, bobcats. So first thing you need to pick what you're trapping. If you're doing raccoons, dog proofs are the way to go. If you have a coon for some reason that won't get into your dog proof, because maybe it's been around, it's been caught before and released or whatever, it's trap shot, you could set blind sets for coon and use like a 165 or I believe it's the 450 made by Duke. So then you decide, let's say, to trap coons. Well, there's two ways you can anchor this trap. Actually, there's multiple ways, but two of the most basic ways, if you can see, it comes down. They have about 6-inch chain with a swivel. We have a quick link. Whenever you put these quick links on, make sure you tighten these as much as you can. Bring a wrench with you. And then an earth stake. So, let's talk about earth stakes, because there's about 900 of them and different ways to do it, and it's all pretty much trapper's choice. I have a few different stakes. So this is the same as that one. It's I believe they call it a wolf fang. This is 3 of them that I just rolled up. I think it's a 12-inch cable on them. So this is a Berkshire stake. What I like about the Berkshire over the Freedom is that I believe I can take my driver for the Freedom and use this. Hold on one second. So I can even drive it. This is a wolf fang driver. It lines up pretty much perfectly. You notice they interlock like this. You can drive that stake in. It holds it in place. The Berkshire, notice, has a little hole there. I could use this driver by just putting on there, holding it tight, hoping it don't slip off. Or another type is a super stake driver. I can use the super stake driver to also put it in the ground. Or this is actually another type of stake that I use for coon trapping and all, is a rebar stake. Literally, piece of rebar, nut on the end. Fits perfect. Can drive it down with this. So the way the earth anchors work is that when they go in the ground, They go in like this, and you pull at them at an angle, which will make them turn sideways and give enough resistance that it won't pull out. And you have to remember, an animal's not going to pull up on it. It's going to pull out and away from it. So it'll be pulling at an angle all the time. The last type of earth anchor I have is a super stake. Now, as a super stake, has just a hole in it. They make a couple of different types of super stakes, I believe. They make the one that has another line attached here to where when you go to pull it, you flip it back upright so it can pull out easier. This is the driver for the super stake. See, it fits right in there. You can also use the rebar. You've done both. My preference is the Berkshires, just because they are a little bit easier to drive in. Now, they do have other ways. Let's go over the coon traps first. Alright, so another way I stake out my coon traps is with a piece of rebar and that piece of white PVC in there. What makes this piece of white PVC is really helpful, so that I can literally just one finger. Well, this trap actually needs to be cleaned from last year, but normally you can one finger it and get it set with the with this. Well, then once you set the trap, knock some of the mud off of that. Once you get the trap, take the PVC so you don't lose it, put it like this. And dog proofs come from with the 6-inch piece of chain and half of the swivel, or the open swivel. You can slide this through there, and if you don't stake it down hard on the ground but you leave it like this, the PVC will around basically make it another swivel point here. Now let's cover drags. Drags are used if you want to let an animal get off of and out of an opening. So let's say I set it on the road behind me. Pretend it's a dirt road or gravel road that you can dig into. But let's say you want to let the animal get off the road, go hide in the brush over there. You would put a drag. So my No BS traps have 10 foot of number 3 chain on them. And the reason is I can go wrap it around the tree if I can find a tree. Or if I want to put it on a drag, unscrew it a little bit more. If I want to put it on a drag, just take a drag, just take a quick link, and make sure you tighten this quick link when you put it on there. And now it's done. One thing with a drag, pre-entangle it. So I'm going to show basically what you want to do. So let's say this is where you're putting your drag. You want to throw it off the side of the road and get it to where it, oh, I didn't grab. You don't want to get it in some grass to where you can see it's actually stuck there. And you'll pull it a little bit, but once it digs in, it's not going anywhere. It's just like being staked. Pull up enough stuff, I think, that you'll be able to follow the trail to wherever they are. So we've covered drag, stakes. Other useful tools is trap setters. And these trap setters have actually been modified a little bit because why not? I didn't want to buy another set for No BS ones, but these are Bridger trap setters. They slide over like this, and they give you just extra leverage to push down on the ears here. This is the wrong trap setter for that trap, but this is a set of Duke dog-proof trap setters. I can show the basic idea, but what you would do is you take it put it through here. Use this as leverage to pull it down. Now, you don't need trap setters. The K9 KO No BS is a 4-spring trap that I accidentally ordered instead of 2 coil springs, and I need trap setters to get it to go. So, some more tools that you might want. Of course, there's drivers. Whatever stake you decide you're going to use, get the driver for that stake. This is a homemade one. It's got a 2-inch PVC pipe with, I don't know, what'd you say? That's a 1/4 inch. I mean, 1x1 piece of aluminum. It has an eye with a bolt through it. You can move this to here if you need more leverage, or I think that'd be less leverage, but basically you would hook, like for example, I'm gonna just use this trap. You would hook the chain on it if it was hooked in the ground. This would go on the ground. You would pull it up to make that come out of the ground. That was a one that was made when I went to a class. This is one I bought. This is a piece of angle, about a 1-inch steel piece of chain with a clevis, I believe is what they call that. And the last item, if you're gonna do coyote trapping, bobcat trapping with a foothold trap, you're definitely gonna want a catch pole. So this is designed, you can put it around an animal's neck, tighten it down to where you have now control over that animal. And then you release it and it'll go back out. This was one that I won at a trapping class, I think. I have another one that's made from F&T. Most of the stuff I buy now comes from F&T just because I like doing business with them. Minnesota Trapline is another phenomenal brand that you can do. If you have any question about any of this stuff, just ask. I will be glad to answer. I'm gonna do another one actually probably on making steaks if y'all would want to see it, on how, because I want to say these steaks are around like $24 a dozen, something like that. I think when I bought them, I bought 1,000 foot of cable and 100 steaks plus all the stuff to make them for under $100. So I don't have any made right now, but I'm gonna make some cable extensions. And what cable extensions are for is, let's say I go to put this on a coon trail. I drive this all the way in the ground, can't get it to anchor. Sometimes it doesn't happen. What a cable extension could be is a 10-foot piece of wire that, the way I've seen them made, is literally just a loop on each end like this. And you put it in between the two, now you have 10 feet, or however many. If you need to do 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you can get 50, 60 feet away. At that point, I think you could probably find a tree and cinch it around the tree. So, other items you need to start trapping. This is a sifter. You can take the dirt after you dig the hole, rub it to cover your trap back up. We like to use peat moss. I learned that in a class. And what peat moss allows is that it's spongy, so you don't have to worry about pan covers. A trapping hammer. This one's actually kind of small, lightweight. What I like about it, it has the trowel on the end of it. So you can dig it in there, get it out. If you have a standard trapping hammer, if I can get it out, you only need a trowel. Now, by the way, Vinny, I have your trapping hammer. This is a 3-pound trapping hammer. It's pretty much a maul with a piece of steel welded on the back so you can dig. In my bag I also have like lures and stuff like that, which we'll get in that on another video. I carry a couple different tools. I carry a regular pair of pliers just in case. Never know when you're gonna need them. This is an S, I believe it's called an S hook tool. And what that's for is you can use it to open these or crimp them back down. So if I need to change any of that, I can in the field. Gloves, so you don't pinch yourself. Once I start trapping, I'll talk about dealing with lures. But you don't want to touch. So, like for example, I might wear leather gloves while putting this trap on. So everybody's like, oh, a coyote can smell you. You ain't gotta worry about a coyote smelling you because he's already smelled you. Your scent has already transferred to the ground with you just being there. He's not gonna dig up a trap smelling you. Now, if you put, let's say you put bait on with one, and then you get bait on this trap, he may dig up this trap to find out what smells like that. One thing I don't know if I mentioned about it, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but they're done a few different ways, but this is, it's called a night lock. Let me see if I can get it. The night lock. So I gambled and lost when I grabbed this trap. We have one trap that we can only get it to the night lock, and that's this one. But normally when you put it like that, that pan needs to be adjusted, not level. But which I'll go over trap adjustment in another video. But with these, the night lock is that little bump on the top, or on the Duke it looks like it's just, it kind of grooves down, and but what that does, it lets you hear an audible safety to where you won't, or it lets you hear an audible safety when you go to set it. Just like that, trap fires. If there's any questions you have, let me know. I will answer them. If I don't know the answer to them, I'll get them answered. Now, I will say, if you're trapping in Louisiana, when trapping season opens, I believe it's November 20th. The reason I say I believe is because, don't quote me, don't use that as an excuse for wildlife fisheries if you start trapping. But when trapping season opens in Louisiana, we can obtain all fur bearers that we catch. Other states have different seasons for different fur bearers. The reason I say that is because before you go out and trap, let's say you have otters or cats where you're trapping, make sure you learn the physiology of these animals, because you can actually kill an otter and a cat by using a catch pole on them incorrectly. So, which, like here, doesn't matter. Any fur bearers we can keep throughout the entire season. But there's places that you can't keep an otter. There's places that you can't keep bobcats except for certain times of the year. So make sure you watch your rules and regulations wherever you're watching from. Like locally, there's no trapping stores. I know there's one about 4 hours away near Woodworth. I'm not driving that far for it, so like I said, I just use F&T. They're pretty good about it, and they watch. When I went to order some stuff from them, I accidentally double submitted the order and they stopped it. Or if they called me to see to make sure, and I was like, oh, yeah. If you want to support the channel and all our endeavors or anything like that, think about giving us a subscribe. Give us a like if you like these type of videos. Let us know. If y'all want to see anything else, you know, when you subscribe, you get entered into our giveaways. Some of the nifty things we give away. Man, look at this zipper pull line cutter. If you don't have one of these for fishing, I don't know what you've been doing, because this is the greatest invention for fishermen ever. I've cut up to like 200-pound braid with this. And also, that's actually going, these two things actually, Daniel, will be getting shipped out to you soon. That's Daniel with Swampland. He actually won our last subscriber giveaway, so also he has some other goodies coming to him, not just this. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it for the most part. We also have a podcast. If you want to listen to podcasts, I'm going to start a weekly trapping section and going over the different fur bearers to trap, how to trap them, and where I get that information is from the BPMs. And I'll probably keep to the fur bearers we have because I don't need to learn about anything else. And look, now look. Toulouse is like, oh look at this. All them cats trying to get past these traps, and I just walk right over them. Hate to tell them, none of them are set. But if you want to learn how to make steaks, I will do that on an episode. I'll be making probably 30 or 40 of these in the next few days, so see if I can get this one a night lock for y'all. I'm gonna see if you can hear the click. That click right there. Now that pan, if you look at it, is flat and ready to go off. I put a glove on because that 165 almost bit me. Whenever handling traps, don't do like me. Always wear gloves, guys. Thought I'd have learned my lesson after I was showing a was actually showing a property owner the traps and jabbed my finger in one, but